Hello, I'm Tracy, and today I want to talk to you about four must know habits of all highly successful people. The whole secret of personal success is to find out what your calling is and then do that. The great question for success is, what are the habits of successful people? Why is it that some people have positive thinking patterns while others do not? What determines your self-concept for success, the way you think and feel and see yourself? Many successful people have been interviewed over the years and asked the question, what do you think about most of the time? Their answers are simple and consistent, and yet so profound that they can be life-changing. In short, the habits of successful people revolve around positive thinking. They think about what they want and how to get it most of the time. Successful people have all concluded, one way or the other, that your self-concept and your mind is programmed from early childhood. Your self-concept plays a decisive role in almost everything that you think, feel, and accomplish as an adult. By learning these four habits of successful people, you too will become a successful person. First, all successful people have a great self-concept. Your self-concept is the master program of your subconscious computer. It acts as your mental operating system. Every thought, feeling, emotion, experience, and decision that you have ever had is permanently recorded on this mental hard drive. Once recorded, these impressions then influence the way you think, feel, and behave from that point onward. Your self-concept precedes and predicts your levels of effectiveness in every area of your life. Your self-concept explains why the mental laws have such an inordinate effect on your personality. Second, successful people are consistent. Once your self-concept in a particular area is formed, you always act in a manner consistent with it. You may have extraordinary ability in a particular area, but if your self-concept is poor in that area, you will always perform below your true potential. The habits of successful people are to have positive thinking and positive self-concepts in all areas of their lives. You have a self-concept for how well you speak in public. You have a self-concept for how popular you are. You have a self-concept for what kind of a spouse or partner you are. You have a self-concept for what kind of a parent you are. You have a self-concept for how well you perform in each sport or physical activity. You have a self-concept for how organized or disorganized you are. You have a self-concept for how well you manage your time and how productive you are. You have a self-concept for your ability to read, write, and do mathematics. In your business and career, you have a self-concept for every aspect of your financial life. Through positive thinking, you have a self-concept for how much you earn and how hard you have to work to earn that amount of money. You have a self-concept for how rapidly you are promoted and how much your earnings increase year by year. Third, successful people step out of their comfort zones. Whatever your self-concept, your habit of thinking with regard to money or any other area of performance will become your comfort zone. Your comfort zone then becomes your greatest single obstacle to improve performance. Once you get into a comfort zone in any area, you will strive and struggle unconsciously to remain in that comfort zone, even though it may be vastly below what you are truly capable of achieving in that area. The key to achieving your full potential and developing the same habits of successful people is for you to raise your self-concept through positive thinking patterns. It is for you to develop new habits of positive thinking about what is possible for you. The way that you accomplish vastly more on the outside is by changing your thoughts and feelings about your potential in that area on the inside. Finally, all successful people are positive thinkers. Your self-concept is your self-ideal. This is the ideal image or picture you have of yourself as if you were already the very best person you could possibly be. Your self-ideal and self-concept is made up of your wishes and hopes and dreams and goals and fantasies about your perfect future and life, combined with the qualities and virtues that you admire most in yourself and in other people. Your self-ideal and self-concept is a composite through positive thinking of the very best person you could imagine yourself being, living the very best life you could possibly live. High-performing, successful, happy people have very clear self-ideals. They have clear ideals of what they like and respect and admire. They have clear ideals about the virtues and values and attributes of the superior men and women that they want to emulate. The most successful people have an uplifting, inspiring vision of what a truly excellent person looks like and how he or she behaves within their self-concept. You are a remarkable person, possessed of incredible untapped potentials and abilities. Whatever you have accomplished in life so far is only a shadow of what is truly possible for you. There are virtually no limits on what you can do or be and have, except for the limits that you impose on yourself with your own thinking. By following these 4 steps, and by taking complete control of the development of your self-concept through positive thinking, you lay the foundation for the development that will enable you to accomplish more in the next few years than the average person accomplishes in a lifetime. Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought to share with your friends and followers. Self-actualization and self-fulfillment result when you feel that you are becoming everything that you are capable of becoming, that you are fulfilling your full potential. Now, I'd love to hear from you, so my question today is this: what have you done today that steps out of your comfort zone and helps you to grow more and more towards your full potential? Leave a comment below and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you about habits of highly successful people, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching. One of the lines that I read as a young man was that reading is to the mind as exercise is to the body. I have become a lifelong reader. I read an average of 3 hours every day. I read almost every business, personal, political, economic magazine that is published. And I'm always reading new books that I've either read recommendations on, or that I've seen, or that somebody has told me is a good book. So people ask me, what books am I reading? Let me give you a couple of recommendations. One of the books that was very important to me this year was a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. And what this book does is it says that most people spend all of their life in fast thinking, like driving through traffic. But the most important decisions in life require slow thinking. And the most successful people are the ones who slow down and think carefully before they make important decisions that are going to have a long-term effect on their lives. The research in this book by Daniel Kahneman is Nobel Prize winning. It's written for the average person, and the whole idea of thinking fast and slow changes your whole attitude toward thinking. Now, another book that I read recently is called The Checklist Manifesto. And this book, it was written by a doctor, and he shows how the most successful and effective people write down a checklist of every step in a process before they begin. And then they're constantly refining the checklist to make sure that every single detail is covered. He then goes on to show, not only in medicine, in emergency care, but in building skyscrapers, flying jet planes, even in finance and investment, the most successful people have a checklist, because it forces them to think about every single step so they don't make a mistake. Now, if you combine that idea with thinking fast and slow, what you have is tools to help you to become really excellent about thinking really well about the most important things in your life. You know, we say that your most important skill is thinking, and you realize that almost all of the mistakes that you've made in life, especially financial mistakes, are because you didn't think it through clearly enough in advance. Other books that I read are spiritual books. I think the very best spiritual book ever written is a book written by a man named Emmett Fox, who died in 1941, and it's called The Sermon on the Mount. And what he does is he takes each of the lines in the Sermon on the Mount, considering to be the greatest summary of spiritual principles ever explained at one time, and he explains what they really mean for your life and my life. I have recommended this book to people who are Jewish and Catholic and Hindu and many other religions, and they all say it's a perfectly wonderful book. At Christmas time, it's a wonderful book to read and rejuvenate your thinking. Other than that, read book reviews, go on to Amazon, make a decision to try to read a book a week, 30 to 60 minutes each day, because reading is to the mind as exercise is to the body. If you want to be mentally fit, you need to read on a regular basis. Have a wonderful year. Hello. When I started my sales career, a senior sales guy, and I still remember his name was Pete, he said, by the way, did you know that the top 20% of salespeople earn 80% of the money? And I said, no, I've never heard that. He said, yes, it's called the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. And I said, well, if that's the case, then I want to be in the top 20%. That simple decision, and I still remember the time, the place, the street where we were walking many years ago, changed my life. Because what I learned was this, is that if you don't make a decision to be in the top 20%, you automatically fall, by default, into the bottom 80%. Nobody ever says, when I grow up, I'm going to be in the bottom 80% and struggle and worry about money all my life. But by failing to make a decision to excel, you unconsciously make a decision to be mediocre. So your goal should be to become one of the highest paid salespeople in your profession and accelerate your sales career by using the vital keys to success in sales, the vital keys to getting into the top 20%. And fortunately, this is easier than you might think. Now, number one, top salespeople do what they love to do. All truly successful, highly paid salespeople love their sales career. You must learn to love your work and then commit yourself to becoming excellent in your field. Invest whatever amount of time is necessary to improve your sales career. Pay any price. Go any distance. Make any sacrifice to become the very best at what you do. Resolve to join the top 10% and never stop until you get there. Now here's something that changed my life. Is when I learned that everybody who's in the top 10 or 20% started in the bottom 10 or 20%. And what hundreds of thousands and millions of other people have done, going from the bottom to the top, you can do as well if you decide to. Now, number two, top salespeople decide exactly what they want. Don't be wishy-washy. Decide exactly what it is you want in life. Set it as a goal for your sales career and then determine what price you're going to have to pay to get it. And let your mind float freely. Think about earning twice as much, driving a beautiful car, living in a beautiful neighborhood. It's all possible for you. Now, according to the research, only about 3% of adults have written goals. And these are the most successful and highest paid people in every field, including sales. These are the movers and the shakers, the creators and innovators. They're the top salespeople and entrepreneurs. And you can join them as well by writing down your goals in the first place. Now, number three, top salespeople back their sales career goals with perseverance and determination. A key to success in sales is to back your goals with indomitable willpower. Decide to throw your whole heart and soul into your success and into achieving your sales career goals, no matter how many obstacles or setbacks you experience. Make a complete commitment to improve your sales career and become one of the most highly paid salespeople in your field. Resolve that nothing will stop you or discourage you, no matter what happens. Now, number four, top salespeople commit themselves to lifelong learning. This, by the way, changed my life so dramatically when I was 24, almost like I tripped over something and picked myself up, and it was a great treasure. And the treasure was that your mind is your most precious asset, and the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your sales career. If you commit yourself to lifelong learning, you will achieve such extraordinary success. And I cannot emphasize this too often. Read, listen to audio programs, attend seminars, and never forget that the most valuable asset you will ever have is your mind. As you continue to learn, you'll eventually become one of the most valuable salespeople in your company. The more knowledge you acquire that can be applied to practical purposes, the greater will be your rewards and the more you will be paid. Number 5, top salespeople use their time well. Your time is all you have to sell. It's your primary asset. How you use your time determines your standard of living. So resolve, therefore, to use your time well every minute of every day. Begin every day with a list of everything you have to do. The best time to make up your work list is the night before, prior to wrapping up for the day. Write down everything that you have to do the next day, starting with your fixed appointments, and then moving on to everything else you can think of. Number 6, top salespeople follow the leaders. Do what successful people do. Follow the leaders, not the followers. Not the people who are hanging out, going for coffee, going for drinks at 4:30 in the afternoon, going shopping during the daytime. Stay away from these people. Do what the top salespeople in your company do. Imitate the ones that are going somewhere with their lives. Identify the very best salespeople in your field and in your office, and then pattern yourself after them. If you want to become one of the best salespeople in your company, go to the top earners and ask them for advice. Ask them what you should do to improve your sales career. Inquire about their attitudes and philosophies and their approaches to their work and their customers. And here's the most remarkable thing. Successful people will help you. They will tell you things. They will give you ideas that can save you years of hard work, but you have to ask. Now, top salespeople, number 7, know that character is everything. Guard your integrity as a sacred thing. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nothing is more important to the quality of your life in our society. In business and sales success, you must have credibility. You can only be successful if people trust you and believe in you. So in study after study, the element of trust has been identified as the most important distinguishing factor between one salesperson and another, and between one company and another. Now, number 8, top salespeople use their inborn creativity. So think of yourself as a highly intelligent person. Think of yourself as a highly creative person, even a genius. Recognize that you have great reserves of creativity that you have never used. So say aloud over and over again, I'm a genius, I'm a genius, I'm a genius. Now, this may sound like an exaggeration at the beginning, but it's not. The fact is that every person, including yourself, has the ability to perform at genius levels in one or more areas. You have within you right now the ability to do more and be more than you ever have before. All you have to do is have the confidence to try. And number 9 quality of top salespeople is they practice the golden rule. You should also practice the golden rule in all your interactions with other people. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Think about yourself as a customer. How would you like to be treated if you were your own customer? Well, obviously you would want salespeople to be straightforward with you. You would want them to take the time to thoroughly understand your problem or need and then show you step by step how his or her solution could help you to improve your life or work in a cost-effective way. If this is what you would want from a salesperson selling to you, then be sure to give this to every customer you talk to. And number 10, quality of top salespeople, they pay the price of success in advance. Remember, perhaps more important than anything else, resolve to work hard. This is a great key to success in life in any field. The key to success in selling is for you to start a little earlier, to work a little harder, and stay a little later. Do the little things that average people are always trying to avoid doing. When you begin your workday, resolve to work all the time you work. Don't waste time. Get going. Move fast. Now, what I've given you is sort of like a mental fitness plan. It's a sales mental fitness plan. Just as if you want to become physically fit, you work out with a series of different pieces of equipment. If you want to become financially fit as a salesperson, work out with these 10 ideas. And I promise you, as soon as you begin using them, you're going to see improvements faster and more effectively than you could possibly imagine today. Did you know that high self-esteem requires that you have clear values, virtues, and ideals to which you're committed and by which you live? Your values lie at the core of your personality. Top performers in all areas are very clear about who they are and what they stand for and what they believe in. They have clear values and virtues that they will not compromise for any reason. Because you are a top performer, you know what you stand for and what you will not stand for. You know what you believe in and in what order of importance. The interesting thing is that much of your stress or unhappiness in life comes when you deviate away from your true values, from what you know to be good and true deep down within yourself. Men and women with high self-esteem are very clear about what they believe in. And the higher your values and ideals are, the more committed you become to living your life consistent with those values and ideals. And then, the more you like and respect yourself, and the higher your self-esteem will be. Lasting self-esteem and high levels of personal performance are only possible when your goals and your values are congruent. That is, when they fit together like a hand into a glove. Much of the stress that people experience comes from believing one thing down deep and trying to do something else that is not consistent or aligned with their real values. When you bring your goals and values into alignment, you feel a wonderful sense of calmness, confidence, and personal power. That is when you begin to make real progress. Perhaps the core personal value is integrity, and your integrity is always expressed in your level of truthfulness. Top people always tell the truth, no matter what the temptation or the external circumstances. They refuse to shade the truth, exaggerate, or be dishonest in any way. The wonderful thing is that the more you live in truth with yourself and others, the greater peace of mind and happiness you experience, and the more confidence and energy you have. And the best of all with regard to integrity is that you'll be more respected and esteemed by the most important people in your life. Stephen Covey says that the key to being trusted is to be trustworthy. You become trustworthy by being the kind of person who everyone trusts and believes in completely, because they know that whatever you say, it will always be the truth. Once you're clear about your values and your beliefs, you then set your goals for the outside world, and you organize your activities in such a way that they are in harmony with those values. You do what you know to be right. You only do work that you believe in. You only do things that you care about. Many people find themselves distracted and unmotivated in one job or type of work, and when they change to the right job for them, they suddenly spring into life, full of energy, enthusiasm, ambition, and high levels of happiness. You build high self-esteem by becoming clear about your values and by organizing your goals and activities around those values. When your outer life becomes congruent with your inner life, you will feel terrific about yourself and start to perform at your best. Now here's an exercise for you. Take some time to become clear about your values and beliefs. Make sure that everything you do in the outer world is in harmony with what you believe to be right and good in your inner world.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and today I want to talk to you about one of the most important subjects in life, and it's how to stay productive during any crisis. The key to success in life is task completion. A crisis and your ability to manage a crisis is the testing time in human life. Today, your ability to be productive, to discipline yourself, to do the right things in the right way over and over again, when there's nobody even watching you, there's nobody disciplining you. This is basically a testing time. This is where people test themselves by learning different ways to produce high amounts. Most people, if they don't have a structured environment, start to kind of fall apart. their levels of productivity start to drop. Now, before we even start, I want to just say one thing is the key to success in life is task completion. Task completion. And I've taught this, as you know, I'm the best-selling author in the world on time management. I've sold millions and millions of copies in 46 languages, so I know a little bit about the subject. And it's just amazing how many people don't realize it. When I was young, I used to think that time management was like a subject around the outlying areas of my life. Like I was the center of the world, and that the time management was way out here. And then I realized that time management is the sun around which my whole world turns. It's the sun of your life, and how well you manage your time determines your whole life. Your income, your productivity, how good you feel about yourself is really, really important. Now, while we all face difficult problems now and again, a crisis presents a high level of difficulty because it's almost always an unexpected and unprecedented situation that is affecting more than just ourselves. A crisis, and your ability to manage a crisis, is the testing time in human life. And so what we'll talk about here is how you manage your time during the crisis that we're going through today. During a crisis situation, you may have the misconception that everything is beyond your control. But I want you to remind you of one thing. You'll always be able to control no matter what the outside world looks like, and that is your dedication to becoming the best possible version of yourself and focusing on your goals. Whether it's your business or your personal life or even your mindset, a crisis situation is a time to adapt, not pause, and not become discouraged. So today I want to share a few tips to help you stay productive during any crisis. First, number one, don't worry about things that you cannot change. Always ask, is the problem you're facing a problem or a fact? Now, a problem is something that is amenable to a solution. You can sit down with others, you can write it down, you can look at the alternatives, and you can decide to do one thing or another. A fact is something that you can't change. So never get upset about a fact. Now, one of the things that I learned is that most people are unhappy today. All the psychologists and psychiatrists and psychotherapists are dealing with patients who are talking about facts. They're talking about past events. A past event that has occurred is a fact, and you can't change it. Past events with regard to your family and your previous relationships and your wives and financial decisions that you've made and people that have hurt you and so on. These are all facts because they're past events that you can't change. So what you do is you make a decision and you say, and this is what I decided many years ago, no regrets. No regrets. If something happened and it didn't work out and it cost me time and money and pain and so on, no regrets. Accept it, learn from it, and move on. Remember, your ability to respond effectively, your response ability is what's going to make you better and stronger in the future. Now, number two, dare to step out of your comfort zone. Be prepared to approach difficulties differently than you have before. One of the things that I've learned is that the greatest enemy of success in business is the comfort zone. Harvard University did a study in 2013 about your business model. And what they found is that about 80% of companies are using a business model that is obsolete, partially obsolete, or a lot obsolete, or completely obsolete. And they are very strong about staying in the comfort zone. They do everything possible to keep on doing what they were doing before. And so your ability to get out of your comfort zone is very, very important, is to expand your thinking. So this is your narrow thinking. Expand it and look at all the possibilities that are available. One of the things I learned many years ago is always be open to the possibility that you could be wrong. Always be open to the possibility that what you're doing today is wrong. Now, the third way to be more productive is don't let your emotions control your behavior. Stay calm and clear as you focus on the future. I've talked before about my book, Crunch Point. How do you deal with a crisis of any kind? And the number one rule is stay calm. Take a deep breath, look into the crisis, and ask yourself, what exactly has happened? Is what can we do about this situation? Is what can we learn from this situation? And so on, so you don't let your emotions control your behavior. Now here's an interesting discovery. When you ask questions, what exactly has happened? How did it happen? When did it happen? Who is involved with it? What can we do about it? When you ask questions, you keep yourself calm and you make your mind clear and you come up with ideas to solve your situation. So this is really important. Number 4 is look for the good in any situation. Don't get weighed down by the negativity of a crisis or a setback or a problem. Just take a deep breath and say, there must be something good here that we can use. Some years ago, one of the richest men in America was a man named W. Clement Stone. And what he did is whenever there was a problem in his company, people were trained to say, that's good, and then find something good about the problem. And he eventually expanded all over the world, and all over the world, every new manager was taught to say, that's good. Now, what is it about this situation that is good? And so everybody focused on finding something good. And they always found something good. And the company grew to become one of the most successful companies in the world. And he grew to become almost a billionaire, starting off as an orphan selling newspapers on the streets of Chicago. Number 5 is continue to take action. Keep moving forward to reach your goals. Don't sit and think or watch television. Is take action. Keep moving forward. Keep trying different things. Remember, action is everything. Peter Drucker wrote about strategic planning, which we teach in other places. And what he said was the ultimate end of all strategic planning is action now. Discussion leads to decisions, which lead to action now. But it's always action now. So ask yourself, what actions can I take immediately to help me to achieve my most important goals? If you're in business, your most important goals are to increase your sales, your profitability, and your income. So what can you do now to increase revenue generation and to keep moving forward toward achieving your goals, to completing your tasks, to helping yourself and your company move onward and upward? Now, I'd love to hear from you. So my question today is, which of these strategies will you implement right now to start becoming more productive? I'm sure that there's something in there. What is it that is good about your life today? Will it be an opportunity to learn and change and grow and to respond effectively? So leave a comment below and I will be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and you feel it was valuable in teaching you about how to stay productive during any crisis, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click on the button on the screen for a free gift.